Live.
How's it going, YouTube?
Yes, we are. I can't tell. I think we're live right now. We're for sure live now.
Are we live now?
We are 100% live now. I wasn't sure because sometimes it says starting in, but then in the videos there's like a lag. So we are officially YouTube live.
Hi, YouTube.
Hello.
You can see them. I can't.
Did you bring the TV? You forgot the TV?
I forgot the TV.
Oh, I almost texted you that too. But that's all right.
Where are we going to put it?
Right off camera here. So that you can
that would work.
because I can see it.
Yeah.
I get to see on the laptop here the video angles, so I can see that the camera's on me right now, or I can see that it's on Aaron right now.
Nice. I can see nothing. I can only see Nick's eyes.
But even though I see it, there are videos where all you see is Aaron for 6 minutes in a row.
Oh, I'm counting on that camera view not being on me.
Yeah,
during that time.
I know, and you're like,
yeah, you never know.
No.
Did you see our comments last week
From YouTube?
Yeah, there were 2 comments.
Really?
Yeah.
From who?
Kyle M.
Oh, yeah, I did see those. Yeah. Yes, I did see those. And then who was the other? Shane Rocks? Is that the handle on that one? Maybe that one.
Yeah. So she had a comment, but in the chat last week.
Oh, there was chat?
There was chatter.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't, honestly. So we use a laptop for this. We really should be using a bigger computer. So I didn't really think that this was actually like a good live stream.
We got
hey.
people.
Oh, we have one viewer right now.
We do?
Whoever you are, put who you are in the chat. Not that we're gonna see it because I don't know how it works.
Can you even see the chat? Who is the one? He better have hit the like button already. And the subscribe button. Or her.
Hopefully it's still live.
I think we have 13 subscribers now.
13 subscribers, which our videos get more than 13 views. So if you're viewing these videos and you haven't subscribed,
help us out.
Come on, man.
That helps it so other people see it come across their feed as well.
The official YouTube algorithm.
And when we go live, you get a notification.
You guys, did you guys watch the Christmas special we did? What did you guys think of it? I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was good.
It was definitely fun to do. Kind of made you sit down and think about it a little bit more when you have to read it for official podcast.
Right.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed doing that.
I think that was only like the second time at Christmas I've sat down and read that.
Really?
Yeah.
See, my dad makes us read it before we get to open presents every year.
Really?
And now I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, yeah.
I
but
like that.
As a kid, I'm like, hurry up. I want to get to the presents.
Does he make you do the extended version?
No, it's just that Luke, just what we read the other day, which is funny. But I'm trying to figure out chat, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully you guys had a good Christmas. We're gonna talk we're gonna talk New Year this week. We'll talk about resolutions, which you'll get Aaron's opinion on that.
I like them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll kind of go over that. Two fish. I don't see our live video up.
No.
Oh, yeah, here we go. So it's a little bit behind, but cool. But it's working, which is good.
Yeah, I just don't see where we see the chats.
Have someone in studio watching us.
That's weird.
All right. Oh, two. We got two in the building.
Hey.
Oh, careful.
Well, we can show you after. Okay. Or you can view us on YouTube live.
There you go. We'll show you.
You'll see it on YouTube live. We'll show you afterwards.
I put a comment in
Upstairs
the chat from me.
from you.
That says, you guys are awesome. Oh, now it's popping up. I see you. So if the chat pops up, we'll see it.
All right.
All right. Are you ready for the podcast?
I am. Did you pull up your other verse on your phone so you're not scrambling?
What was it again? Hold on. Or you have
John.
There it was. I got the wrong.
16:33.
When I was looking it up, I got the wrong chapter 33. Oh, it's the last one of the chapter. I didn't realize that.
You got your pages in the right order? I numbered them for you.
I did.
Week.
I see that. Last week was rough on that. I was like, holy cow. Shoot. I liked that other version better. Anyway. I will be ready. Nope. Where'd it go? I'll be ready. We're good. There it is. Boom. Maybe. This is a long YouTube entrance. Puppy chow.
You got puppy chow all over.
We talked about the church last week on the podcast, and we talked about doing life together, especially when your church is closed, and your family and my family do dinner every Tuesday when we do this. So
That is church, according to the way we defined it.
yeah,
I think that's the way the Bible defines it, too. It is not the building.
it is not. There it is. Boom, got it.
The building is a tool.
It's a tool. That's what we discussed.
It's a utility for us to use to gather. But it can happen on other days as well.
Yep. All right. We are officially going to go podcast recording. Here we go.
Here we go.
Actually, I haven't done this in like a week, so I'm hopefully going to remember how to do this. This is the and I forgot to hit record. Ready? Here we go.
Take 3.
This is the Two Fish Podcast, where we try to keep biblical truths simple. Your hosts, Nick Burt and Aaron Apple. That's right. We are back with another episode of Two Fish Podcast. How you doing, Aaron?
I am doing fantastic.
So hopefully you guys had a chance to watch or listen to our Christmas special we did. I really enjoyed doing that. It was a lot of fun.
It was great to read that story. I was just telling Nick that's probably the second time at Christmas that I've read that story. And when we were doing that, I actually got goosebumps. So
Yeah, you had said that. So yeah, I mean, it's a story that definitely probably should be read every Christmas, or even outside of Christmas, we should be reading that story because it's, Jesus came to eventually die for our sins so that we can be with him in eternity. So to read that start was super impactful for me anyway. And then we had Christmas. We actually had Christmas. How was Christmas for you?
Christmas was good. It was different this year. It was smaller gatherings, and we didn't go to all the gatherings. But it was good. We still had core group of family come together, and Santa Claus showed up for the kids.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Did you get anything?
I did. I got these sweet new headphones.
Oh yeah, some studio headphones.
So I can hear clearly now.
Yeah, we were using they were my son's Xbox headset.
Those weren't working.
They were not very good, and these are like a cheap $10 thing. So I'll probably have to invest in some of those because they look sweet.
Yeah, they sound good.
Do they?
Yeah, I like it.
Nice. I got some bib overalls. My father-in-law got me some. I needed some new ones because I actually haven't had a pair in a while. And since I work outside, I almost wore them today, but then it warmed up, so I'm glad it didn't. It would have been hot.
Yeah,
but
like you can be too hot.
You can. Even though it's cold outside, you can get too hot inside. So inside the clothes.
Yeah. Probably depends on what kind of house you're working into.
I was outside most of the day.
What stage it's in and what you have to do.
Yeah, it was cold. Well, so we wanted to talk since we've done Christmas and we're coming to the end of the holiday season. We wanted to talk about the new year and kind of reflect maybe a little bit on 2020. And really, honestly, when you think of the new year, at least what I think of is New Year's resolutions. Tell me how you feel, Aaron, about New Year's resolutions.
I think New Year's resolutions are kind of dumb. I think they...
You do?
What was your statistic? Like 10% of people follow through with it?
So I think I looked it up just to make... Well, I can't remember now, but I think that it was 2 or 4% of people actually start in January with a New Year's resolution, say lose weight or exercise more, eat better, and by the end of the year, only 8.4 people actually followed through for the year on their New Year's resolution, which to me is crazy.
Right. And how many,
and then the other statistic that I think I read, I think it was in the 80s. 80% of people that have New Year's resolutions
are done by February.
They've already failed and they've said, next year.
Yeah.
And which is also crazy, which also is me 90% of the time. Like this year, I'm gonna do the normal ones. I'd like to exercise more. I'd like to eat better. I'd like to, I don't really need to lose weight, but I'd like to move it around a little bit,
Move it into your biceps?
Yeah, into my biceps. Yeah. So, So that's for me. That's one of the things that I want to try to do this year is just be a little more active.
See, I realized I was one of those people. By February, I was done with it. So I was like, why do I do this?
Why do you set a goal?
Why do I set this year-long goal?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to follow through with it.
Exactly. And I don't even set the goal for the year, which we were talking about. I saw these YouTube videos where these people are planning out their entire year in this notebook, and they're in September. And I know it's good to have goals in business and all those things, but these people were setting their life for the year. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm doing next week.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, we're so busy usually that I can't plan out my life like that. That's crazy.
I usually got to call my wife and be like, what are we doing next week?
Yeah, exactly. Or she says, hey, don't forget. And you're like,
okay.
I didn't forget. Yeah. Yeah. Where was that at? Exactly.
I got the important ones marked in my Google Calendar, though.
That's good.
I got the birthdays, the anniversary.
Yeah.
Those are in there.
Nice.
So I get reminders on those.
So you actually don't remember. You rely on the technology to. That's crazy.
Shh, don't tell everybody that.
It's it's so and so's birthday. Thanks, Facebook, because I totally forgot about that.
Right? That's good.
Exactly. Well, so one of the things that we were talking about in preparation for this is every year at the beginning of the year, we set these goals and we say, man, actually, we talked about it. It starts usually around Thanksgiving, and you're like, let's give weight, for example. I need to lose some weight.
Right.
But Thanksgiving's coming up, and I know I'm going to eat a lot for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then there's Christmas.
Christmas is right after it.
Yeah. I'll start in January 1st. It's a fresh, and that's the way we look at it with these kind of things. It's fresh. The number starts over. The year starts over. And so it's a good place to start. But for other things, other than the weight loss and stuff, And even the weight loss and stuff, if that's something you want to do, I just use that as an example because that's a big one for most people. Like, I'd like to save more money this year. Like, that's another thing that I'd like to do. Spend less on the little stuff and save a little more, you know? But a verse that we pulled out was in Lamentations in 3:22 through 24. It says, actually 21, but this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Verse 24, the Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will have hope in him.
Right.
And
so,
that word hope is really what we kind of want to look at for a minute.
Right. So like a new year, a new hope. And like this verse says, every morning is new.
Yeah.
So we don't have to wait for the new year.
Yeah.
We can get up tomorrow and have a new hope in what we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So let's take your goal. You want to save more money this year. Well, that is like a really broad goal.
It is. It is.
And there's no definition to that. There's no, like, I want to save this much by the end of January.
Yeah.
Like, I want to save $50 by the end of January.
Yeah.
And by the end of February, I want to have 100 saved. So every month you want to save $50. Where you set yourself up, in my opinion, because I don't like these New Year's resolutions, is you didn't define that.
Yeah.
Your overall objective is I want to save money.
Yeah.
But how you can break that down?
Yeah. When you paint a broad stroke like that, well, I saved $1.
Right.
So I did. I saved. I'll save more next month. You know what I mean? So if you are going to do those goals, be a little bit more specific, and that'll help reach those goals. But biblically standing here, my mind just went whoop. Oh man. Biblically speaking,
that's week 3
that we've had to pause.
Your minds went.
Oh yeah. Well, that's every day.
That's all right.
Every day, all day.
Biblically speaking.
We don't have to. Man, where was I going with that? Well, we don't have to wait for a January 1st to come around. Yeah.
Tomorrow's good.
Is that where I was going with that?
Yeah.
I think that's where I was going with that YouTube.
December 22nd is as good as January 1st.
Yeah. Or July.
July 1st.
Okay.
Is as good as January 1st.
But biblically speaking, we don't have to wait for that January 1st to start over like that on the physical or the spiritual, because a lot of our hope, and we'll get into some of the Bible here, is our hope needs to be in Jesus. And if we reflect here for a second on the past year, let's reflect on 2020 just for a minute.
Okay.
It stunk.
Right. It was terrible.
Like, for a lot of people, I know you had people pass in your family this year. I had several people pass in my family, whether it was COVID or not. I mean, it was hard. It was a hard year.
Yeah.
And what the beginning of the year started with COVID, and then there was, I don't know if you remember this, in California there was killer wasps. And that was going to be the next big crap thing that we're all going to die from killer wasps. And then politics all year, we're not even going to get into that.
No.
Because that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
But that's been crazy all year.
Right.
So literally this has been a crazy, full of just fear.
The fires out west too.
You know what? I didn't think of that when that was nuts too.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I saw some pictures of that, and that was...
Oh, it's terrible.
Terrible. And if you're watching and that was you in the middle of that and you lost property, prayers out to you guys, because that looked like apocalyptic out there.
Yeah.
And then these wasps came from wherever. The wasps.
Came from.
Yeah. But in all those struggles and all that, Jesus says, hey, you'll find your hope in me.
Right.
And we're going to have troubles, but we don't have to necessarily worry about those troubles. We do. But worry isn't the word we need to use. We can have hope in those troubles because we as believers, and if you're not, trust in Jesus. Put your hope in Jesus.
Yeah. So, and the way we define hope is, I'll call it the human definition, right? It's more of a wish. It's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But when you define that biblically, it is a confident expectation of what God has promised and what God is going to do for you.
Yeah.
So when we say to put your hope in Jesus, you're saying, I know coming out of 2020, like something wonderful is going to happen.
Yeah.
Something good is going to come out of this.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good in 2022.
Oh, yeah.
I just actually saw, I'm a member of Rotary, and they just posted on Facebook that like another country had been eradicated of polio.
Sweet.
During this, which is awesome because it's down to a very small percentage of the world that still has it.
Yeah.
But it got eradicated out of another area. And that's awesome because polio was one of those things that was taking over the world at one point too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll have that confident hope, that confident expectation of what God is going to do and what he has promised us.
Yeah. And along with hope, like you can't use the word hope, I feel like, without using the word faith. And in Hebrews 11:1, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. And it's, like you said earlier, hope is believing that things will be good and even the bad things will be good. He'll use it. Is because of his faithfulness.
Right. His faithfulness to you and I.
Yeah.
And those are the things he has promised us.
Yeah.
Like he sent his one and only son for us to die for our sins and to give us this new hope.
Yeah.
That even though you're going to have some struggles, he's going to come alongside you in that.
Yeah. I like it. Oh.
That was my fault.
Where to next? This is YouTube Live. By the way, when we sat down to start this podcast, what are you laughing about?
It's just funny. We sat down and we walked through this, and then we start talking about it, and it never goes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But no, I'm talking like the whole podcast. When we sat down hey, we're going to do a podcast. I like to research things. I like to have the things we need. And the average podcast burns out at 7 episodes.
Right now.
This is episode number 7. So when I told Aaron this, I said, we are going to at least get to 8. Like we're at least going to have 8 because I'm not going to be that statistic that burned out at 7 episodes.
We're not going to burn out.
We're not. We're actually really enjoying this.
Not having that. Devil's not winning.
So next week we'll have a celebration.
Celebration week.
8 podcast week. We passed the threshold.
I like it.
Anyways,
YouTube. That's your behind the scenes look at Two Fish Podcast.
That is.
Make sure you hit that subscribe and the like button.
And the notification bell. I need a little punch for.
You need to put that on your board.
The little.
You should put like a label of what each button does.
There is a piece of paper you can get with the colors, and you can write it, but
oh, nice.
I don't know where it is. It's probably in the box somewhere.
Okay.
Anyway, now I have no idea where we stopped that.
I do.
All right. It was at the end of a thought process, I think. And it was like, where did we go from there?
God tells us that he sent his one and only son to die for our sins.
You said that?
Mm-hmm. Something along those lines.
Okay. So we can just go into maybe this past year. Oh, no, you said that. You said.
We already talked about the past year.
Yeah. So into Matthew 11.
Yeah.
You want to read that or you want me to? And then you follow it up with thought.
We can do that.
We do go over this beforehand, and we're like, all right, we read through it, we kind of talk about it, and we go back and forth. Really, we should record that because that tends to be really good. And then, right in the heat of doing a podcast, especially video,
we freak out.
We freak out. It's like stage fright, but we're not on a stage. We're just the two of us.
My heart gets pumping, and
it's an adrenaline. Okay. So right into Matthew 11.
I'll say this last part. You know, he promises that that he is there for us, and he wants to take our burdens. Like in this past year was a struggle, and then we can relate it to Matthew.
Okay. And then were we doing the Ephesians 6:18?
No, don't have to.
Well, that's where it kind of got a little jumbled. So actually, this is probably this page, and then I'll chime in a little bit. But this is your thought process here.
Yep.
Do you remember what it was? We tightened it up. It was all jumbled, and then we tightened it up.
Yeah. We'll get there.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm
sorry, YouTube.
I'm the one clicking the pause button here. By the way, put in the comment section, do you like this studio setup better than facing? It's actually, we flipped the whole room. Rather than the sloth stuff in the background way back there, do you like this better? That's the question of the day.
I feel like we need the sloth, though.
The actual stuffed animal sloth or the picture?
Oh, we could do the picture.
Let's put him somewhere.
Yeah.
Could hang him on that door since I don't
Put
like that door. It's a good idea. We might actually, I think it is Velcro on there. Nice. So I could just add more Velcro over here.
Nice. What do you think, YouTube? Let us know.
We're also working on a logo, an official Two Fish Podcast logo. Someone's working on it for us. And we're thinking about putting it up there in the middle, right?
Yeah.
We'll have that up there. And then we're going to get a couple sweatshirts just so that we have something warm for the winter with the logo on it.
Maybe we'll give a couple away.
Bingo. To YouTube.
Yeah.
For following us. We have I know we say this every time, but you guys in France, whoever's watching us in France. Oh no, that's on the actual listening.
I think that's on the podcast.
That's right. There are people listening from France. We should send him a sweatshirt.
We should.
It probably costs more to send it to him than it would be to.
We'll have one like made in France and ship it to.
Bingo.
I think we can do that now. They probably got Amazon Prime over there.
Probably. Yeah. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends in France so that they can watch us too. All right, you ready?
Yep.
It's you.
So we can be assured that God sent his one and only Son to die for us. We have that, as Hebrews said, that new faith in this and a confidence of that. And even though, let's say, like 2020 has been a struggle, there's been a lot of burdens come out of that. There's a lot of sorrow. There's a lot of, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff for 2020.
Yeah.
We can still have that confidence, and we can have that hope in what he has done for us. And, but we're gonna have struggles.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Along with that struggles, John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And I think that's huge with, like hope in Jesus.
Yeah.
I have overtaken the world. So like the end is good. Like he's got it.
Right.
You're going to be in troubles like 2020. Hopefully 2021 is not as bad for most people. But whatever it is, you have hope that it's not gonna.
Right. And it brings me to one of my favorite verses of recent is Matthew 11:28 through 30. I now put my trust and hope in our Lord and Savior. I trust that when he says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." He's telling us, like, you're going to have struggles, like John said.
Yeah.
But I'm here for you, and you can put your trust and your hope in me, and I'm going to come alongside you, and I'm going to make that cross. He tells us to pick up our cross and carry it every day.
Yeah.
He's going to make it lighter.
Which is good, because that cross gets heavy. Life gets heavy.
It gets real heavy when you're doing it on your own.
There's a good way to say that.
So if you put that hope in Jesus and that hope in what he's done, that's going to be lighter.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to carry that by yourself.
I like it.
I thought you were going to say more than I like it.
Oh.
Like, where's he going with I like it?
I don't know. Man, was this bad last week? Do we have a... No, it was the week before that was bad.
It's because this is my random thought process. This is my ADD.
Yeah. And then I want to get... I don't know.
You're trying to push into my thought process this week, and it's not working out.
But I like it.
We're skipping Ephesians, so it's...
Okay.
I'm going to relate it back to our New Year's resolutions.
So right there in the blue, these verses tell me.
Yep.
Okay.
I just thought you were going to say more. That was my fault.
Apparently not.
You're just like, I like it.
I
like it.
I do.
That's not Nick. Just so you know, when Nick says I like it, there's more to come normally. But this time he's just like, I like it.
And then I was trying to think of my next. Yeah.
So we'll bring your New Year's resolutions into this,
okay.
And even if you don't struggle with how you look, that's kind of the.
Yeah. So YouTube, if you don't like this, our screw ups here, I know some of you we've heard do like this, kind of makes it real.
Actually, I just talked to another guy that was like, I really like that because it's really honest, and you guys are trying to walk it out as you're going and making sure.
Yeah, there you go.
You're making sense and hitting the points.
But if you don't like this rambling that we do in between this, you can always go to anywhere podcasts are, and you can download the Two Fish podcast there.
Yeah.
And you'll not have all this extra stuff.
We have a website. You can just Google us now and it pops up.
Really?
Yeah. Google the Two Fish podcast and you're going to find it.
Sweet.
It'll be on Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout.
Is the host of it, but it's our own unique
podcast website. We're 33 minutes into this YouTube video, but we're only 16 minutes into the podcast.
Oh, man. It's going to be a short one.
Yeah, it is. I wondered how this is going to go.
That's all right.
That's all right. It'll be a short one. So anyway, that other option is there. Google the Two Fish podcast and listen to the short version of this, audio only.
No, keep playing the YouTube live.
Well, in the background, obviously.
That
keep
helps
YouTube.
That helps our stats.
On your other phone, keep YouTube on. Watch it 3 or 4 times from 3 or 4 different phones.
There you go. Hit the like button.
Anyway. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You know where you're at?
Yeah.
Because it's you.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah, these verses tell us that Jesus wants to take our pains. He wants to take our sorrows. So if we relate that back to your New Year's resolutions. Because I don't make them anymore.
I don't usually either, but that's always something at the beginning of the year. I'm like, I should probably do this.
Right. And I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They just don't, it doesn't work for me. So I've had to break it up into smaller goals. And actually, I had to talk through this with my wife. I was like, if I ever made a New Year's resolution that you know of? And she's like, no. But you make smaller goals throughout the year. And then we try to follow those.
Yeah. That's good.
Throughout.
I like that.
Yeah. So if we go back to yours, let's go to exercise, right?
All right.
So I'm guessing you don't like the way you look in some manner or whatever. Your gut's gotten a little bit too big, or and you're struggling with that image of yourself. But that first off isn't how God views you, right?
Yeah.
So that is our fleshly desire and struggle. God doesn't view us that way. But as I'm thinking through this, if we combine our New Year's resolutions with our new hope in Jesus and bring Jesus into that goal, like, I just think you're going to be more successful in achieving that.
Yeah.
One, you're going to go to prayer about it. And if you look at Ephesians 6:18, it tells you to pray about all things and in all occasions. So with your goal and your struggle of whatever your image is, as an example, you bring Jesus into that part of your goal, and you pray about that throughout the year and continue to work on that exercise. Like, it's going to be on the forefront of your mind, and you're not going to die off in February.
That's true.
Because he's going to bring you strength, and he's going to bring you wisdom, and you're going to continue to have hope in him throughout that, and it's just going to help push you along the way.
But the fallback of that is maybe I did fail, and I did blow a little money this month, that I do have hope in Jesus that, man, you know what? That's all right. Like, I need to get back on track, but it's all right. I got Jesus with me.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And if it's something he wants for you as well, he's going to remind you. And you're also, if it's money, because I've been there, and that it's actually been like a 3-year process that we're working through Dave Ramsey.
That's a good program.
But you're going to feel convicted when you blow that extra $50.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's going to remind you of that, and he's going to want you debt free. So if you're bringing him into these New Year's resolutions, and that's what he wants for you, like, he's going to come alongside you, and he's going to help you, and he's going to remind you, and he's going to give you the strength. And when you do fail, he's going to help pick you back up.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. Like, what else do you want me to say? That's good.
That's killing me. I don't know why. That's not Nick. That's not you.
I know.
You're just like, that's good. That's really good. I feel good about myself right now.
I do.
Oh.
By the way, those of you that can see me YouTube live, weight, I'm happy with my weight. I just wish I could move it around a little bit, you know? Like, I know I'm not heavy, but
no, but
I wish I had the biceps that Aaron had.
I don't even work out.
You don't?
No.
You were naturally that buff?
Yeah.
Like, we went over Saturday and you were wearing this tight black shirt, and I'm like, dang, he's got guns.
I don't work out. I used to split a lot of firewood, but I don't even do that. It's probably why my cholesterol's through the roof, because I don't do anything anymore.
Maybe you should set a New Year's resolution to lower your cholesterol.
I probably should, but I'm going to call it a goal, and I'm going to break it up into smaller things.
There you go.
Because I can't do the big picture for the year.
There you go.
Can't do it. I freak out. And I want to get to the end, like now.
Yeah. I do too.
That's what we could talk about now.
What?
What we're talking about.
Getting to the end now? So I should be recording here?
We probably should be.
Just let it go no matter what?
Yeah.
No, the dead silence is what I got to cut out. But I guess we could post that out in the post-production.
Oh, yeah, we can. It's easy. I know how to clip those out of there now. And I can clip out a couple of your... I like that.
I like that. I like that.
I don't know if they can see his eyes, but he looks right at me. I like that.
I like that.
Well, where are you going with that? I like that.
Oh, that's funny. All right. I don't know where you might have to post a little bit of this. Post-production. Do we wrap it up? We're at 19 minutes.
20 minutes.
We're at 20 minutes.
What about 1 Corinthians 10:13? What was that one?
All right, hold on.
I had that wrote in here. Then you jumped to John 16:33.
I know. I also go way out of order because my thought process, I was reminded of you said something about troubles, and I'm like, that John verse. That's where we were going with that.
It worked. It fit in.
It did. I thought it did. 1 Corinthians 10:13. God is faithful. He will not allow us to be tempted. So what were we just saying? If you do fall off, is what I was saying, and then you went on a little.
I went on a little rant.
Tangent, not rants.
Tangent.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, but you probably need to talk because you're like, I like it.
I like that.
You could start off with, that reminds me of 1 Corinthians, whatever.
I like that. Quite on the set. And, going along with that, in 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says, God is faithful. He won't allow you to be tempted beyond your abilities. Instead, with the temptation, God will also supply a way out so that you will be able to endure it. And I think that kind of goes along with what we were just saying. Like, you might fall off on 1 month, or you might, screw up. Or you might be tempted to spend that money or to do whatever. We keep hammering on the money and the weight, and that's not the only things you can. But if you're gonna fall off on anything, even if it's when it's biblical or temptation and with sin, God is always going to provide a way out. We're not going through anything that He didn't. Satan tempted Jesus in the desert for 40 days. He's not gone through we're not going through anything that He hasn't. So no matter what it is, whether it's your New Year's resolution or whether it's just normal everyday life, putting your hope in Jesus, understanding that when there is trouble in our lives, He's always got a way out. He's always got a, hey, you know what? Like for me, sometimes I struggle with anger and I get upset. God always provides me a way out. I always can go, all right, like, let's chill. It's not that big of a deal. Like, whatever I'm fighting about, it's stupid. Like, It really doesn't matter. It's not going to, a day from now, it's not going to change anything. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be God's always going to give us an opportunity
to get out of our hole.
Whether it's in relationship, whether it's in New Year's resolutions, whether it's in, our biblical walk.
Right.
So what are some things as we kind of, look towards the new year? Give me some things that you would be a good resolution outside of like physical stuff, like biblical.
So some biblical goals?
Yeah, sure.
So one of mine actually is I'm doing a devotional with a group of guys, and I want to continue doing that. I've been pretty dedicated to it, and I get it done every day, and I want to make sure that continues with that group of guys.
Okay.
Because we're going deeper, we're learning from it, we're getting other people's insight, and applying that to our life. It's a lot like Monday nights, our Bible study that we've talked about. So that's one of my, I guess that you could call that a New Year's resolution, but it's a goal for me to continue to do that.
Yeah.
And we have been inviting like new guys in
Is that the one that I was invited to?
Yeah.
And I did it for about 4 days, and then you never heard from me again?
Yeah, it was.
Because I fell off the bandwagon.
He fell off.
See, the problem was for me, that was in the U version, and I don't use that. I use BLB, the Blue Letter Bible.
Blue Letter Bible.
And so to open that other app, I'm like, ugh.
It's so hard.
I know.
Right?
But no, I fell off. Maybe you'll invite me on the next one, and I'll try again.
Yeah. But that's one of mine. So to continue in that, our pastor just sent one out to read the New Testament in a year.
Oh.
Which they did read the Bible in a year last year. I fell off the bandwagon on that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try the New Testament as well. So I've signed up for that. So that's a biblical goal.
There you go.
And I think I'm gonna think back to 2 years ago when I said yes to Jesus and I became a true follower. And one of those goals was just to read a verse a day.
A verse a day. That's pretty easy.
Read a verse a day.
And really lament on it. Is that the right word? Really study that verse?
I don't even know that I studied it. I just wanted to read a verse a day. I wanted to be in my Bible.
Oh, there you go.
And so reading a verse a day was how I started. And then I started reading the Bible from Luke. And I think I made it to like Numbers. And I died off. Numbers is numbers.
Yeah.
So I haven't made it all the way through the Bible, but
Sweet.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I would like to do. See, I struggle with that opening the Bible every day too. So I really should work on that and set some kind of goal with that, because I do other things. I like to listen to messages. I like to do verse by verse, which we've talked about in other stuff, but is actually getting the physical Bible open. And even sometimes not even on your phone, but having the actual text, the actual book. I feel like it's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
I got, I don't know why I brought this today, but maybe I brought it just for this moment.
Bingo.
My family gave this to me in 2013, and I didn't start following until 2018. And I probably never opened it between 2013 and 2018, but it's got some wear and tear on it now, because I do open it and I do get into it. And I try to use this on Monday nights at our Bible study and actually read from the text. I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
I think there's something more to that. So that could be a challenge for those of us that have been walking for a long time, and it's way more convenient to do it on your phone. Take a break from your phone and go read your actual Bible.
That's good. I like that. So one of the other things that I do, and I kind of 2020 felt kind of like end times. I'm just not going to lie. A lot of things that happened are like, oh boy, you know what I mean? And I'm not by any means saying that it is, because I don't know. But I started going through Revelation, and which I had never done. Revelation is one of those books that kind of scares me. Like, it kind of sounds conspiratory if you get into it. Like, come on. But I know it's true. And then it's just overwhelming, because it's, hard to picture some of the things that are in Revelation. So I started going through there, and then I'm like, you know what? I should ask my wife to do this with me. And then we started to do it, and then we kind of just fizzled off and never finished. So that's something that I like to in the next, I'll set a small resolution.
There you go.
A small goal in the next maybe 2 months as we go through Revelation. We use verse by verse ministries. It's a good walk you through context and stuff like that. But to go through that, because the Bible does say, it's like the one book that says, if you read this, you will be blessed.
Yeah.
Which I never knew that. And as I started reading Revelations, I'm like, I should probably finish this.
Yeah, you should. Something that came to mind when you were talking about that. So if you're struggling with this, with doing this and reading the Bible, or even getting a devotional, find an accountability partner.
Nice.
So, like your wife could be your accountability partner, but in your example, you both kind of fizzled out on that. So maybe you need to reach out to another couple to join you in walking through Revelations. Or
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good concept with anything, but for goals and resolutions and making sure that you're staying on point, ask for help.
Ask for help. You're looking to exercise more. It's easier to do it when you got somebody else that's counting on you.
That is true.
And that same theory applies to reading the Bible.
Yeah.
If somebody else is counting on you to talk to them about what you read, and you don't read it, like, you're going to feel guilty when you go to them and you're like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about because I didn't read it. Yeah. Or you're going to have to try and fake it, and that doesn't really work with the Bible.
It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. But anyway, well, as we're wrapping up this podcast, we kind of talked about last year. We're looking towards the future. Our goal is for the Two Fish podcast to be a huge success for us in 2021. We're really going to push it this year. And
we're just going to keep going. We don't know what God has for us around the corner, but we're going to trust and we're going to hope in what he has for us.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep pushing forward.
Exactly. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in today to the Two Fish podcast, where we try to keep biblical truth simple. Catch us on YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Have a great night.
Unmute.
Good job. Yes. You got the unmute before you talk.
Yes.
We're getting there.
We're getting
figuring
there.
It out.
Now it's in my brain. Like, I have failed so many times. Like we were saying there at the end, we really do, we're hoping that God has big plans for this. We're praying that he does. I feel like we should have said something else about hope in Jesus at the end there. That's all right. Anyway, YouTube, you get this special. Make sure you're living 2020 with your hope in Jesus. That's super important. If you're someone that is not a believer, man, 2020 could be just as bad as 2020 was. You need to put your hope in Jesus. And that sounds crazy, but it's the truth.
It is the truth.
It'll really make a difference when you give your life to Christ and you get, you gain the Holy Spirit. Man, it makes a difference.
Yeah, you're going to find some joy in those struggles instead of just sorrow.
Exactly.
And, you're going to come out on the other side with two black eyes and a smile on your face.
Yeah, because you'll be able to look back and say, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get why.
Yep.
And so, hey, that's our little gospel message for the second. But find your hope in Jesus this year in 2020. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Man.
What good happened to you in 2020? What's one good thing
that
we can give our YouTube live guys?
Did that happen to me?
Yeah. What's a good takeaway from 2020 for you?
This year was rough.
Yeah, we all know that this year was rough. We all got that.
I really think especially the end months here, I really think that, and we talked about it last week with the church, I really think that I've slowed down a little bit. I really didn't slow. A lot of people, I was worried at the beginning of the year that maybe we were going to have to stop working, and we didn't end up having to stop working. I did get corona, so I had to stop for like a week and a half or so. But
you did the mandatory 14 days.
I did. I quarantined for 14 days. So we didn't really have to slow down there, but my thought process slowed down a little bit, and I started thinking about things a little differently. And especially here towards the later part of the year, the church, I know that a lot of people that I've even talked to, the church has really been heavy on their hearts. And I just started looking at things different. I slowed down enough to start thinking about things different. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah. That now I'm starting to think about. You always have your opinion, and this is my right, left, center. but I started to maybe
Picture it different.
empathize and picture things different. And I really think that that's helped me this year, especially in the later part of the year.
That's
How
good.
about you?
I realize I'm very blessed with my job.
Oh,
So during this whole thing, like, not much fluctuated there.
yeah.
So that was a blessing to our family. My wife's job definitely fluctuated. Like, her company's based out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So some of that New York influence is in that, and that doesn't always fit into
Midwest.
Indiana. So that was different, and there were challenges in that, but my job was stable, and
Nice.
I guess kind of similar to you. Yours stayed stable, and
Yep.
so that was a blessing. And yeah, I reflected on the church as well, because I had a pretty strong opinion of like, we probably shouldn't shut down, and but now I can say my church didn't shut down because I didn't allow it.
There you go. Even though you're at home.
Even though I'm at home.
There you go. Well, hey, YouTube, put in the chat or put it in the comments. What was a good thing that happened to you this year? We know the bad. What was a good thing and a positive takeaway from 2020 that you can take into 2021 and say, man, this was a good thing?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
Anything else?
I like it.
I like it. That was my thing for this week. I like it. I like
it.
I like that.
I like it.
All right, YouTube. We will see you next week, hopefully, God willing.
We'll be here because that's episode 8.
Episode 8, we're going to have a party.
We're not burning out.
We're not burning out. This podcast is going
It's going to be
forward.
Fight next week.
It probably will be. So we need you guys, YouTube. A, pray for us. And B,
tune in.
Subscribe, notification bell, like, all those